I am deeply concerned about the humanitarian situation in Gaza and in Afghanistan, as I've said many times. Both of these territories are controlled by recognized terrorist organizations. Canadian organizations cannot operate in these places without authorization. That was the problem that Bill C-41 was supposed to solve. It was supposed to provide a framework whereby organizations could provide support in terrorist-controlled areas. Now, we heard last spring when we studied this bill at the Justice Committee about the great urgency of the matter to avoid another winter in the case of Afghanistan. Minister, it's been a full year. No organization has given authorization because there's been no framework whatsoever to give them authorization. In my view, given the urgency of this, given what we were told a year ago the urgency was, this is utterly disgraceful, and this affects many of the humanitarian contexts that we're talking about. Is this an issue of government incompetence that we've delayed a year, or is it simply a matter of you or your officials not actually believing in the framework of the bill in the first place?
A good question.
So I will avoid the hyperbole of the member and stick to
yeah, many people are dying, and I've only been given 2 minutes. So you have 30 seconds. Could you provide an answer?
I'm not going to resort in that hyperbole if you let me answer. I'll give you the answer that I provided.
Please. I want to know. What's the answer?
That I provided earlier, which is that this is an important matter. The delays are frustrating for all of us, and I understand where you're coming from. Public safety is leading this effort. We're working with them. I hope we can arrive at a solution very soon in the coming months, and that we operationalize this as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Minister, that's not good enough. And if I seem frustrated, it's because I am, and I'm trying to reflect the urgency and frustration of the vast number of people who have families in Gaza, in Afghanistan, and other places that are controlled by terrorist organizations. I have one more question I want to get in. I sent you a letter along with other members.
You have 9 seconds.
Well, I'll get it in. I sent you a letter on Burma. It took you 6 months to respond, and you didn't answer the core question. Why are you providing aid through government-controlled areas instead of opposition-controlled areas in Burma? It took you 6 months to respond, and you didn't even answer that basic question. Why not through opposition-controlled areas?
Very briefly, Minister.
It's very rich that the honourable member is trying to give me a hard time for aid to Burma when his leader would cut all international aid. Maybe you should advocate.
That is complete nonsense. Can you answer
Genuis,
the question and take your job seriously?
Mr. Genuis, as I've indicated to you, you're out of time. Thank you.
Can you answer the question, Minister?
Mr. Genuis, you're out of time. Mr. Genuis.
Yeah, but just on a point of order, Chair. Can I have a point of order then?
On several occasions, you're out of time.
Yeah, I have a point of order, Chair.
You are.
Yeah, I have a point of order. Chair, witnesses at parliamentary committees have an obligation to answer questions. That applies to ministers as well as to members of the public. And I asked a very direct question, and I'd like you to put to the minister that he has an obligation to provide a simple answer to a simple question.
Mr. Genuis, I understand that the minister did respond to your question.
You know, it is
a point of order, Mr. Chair. This is a false point of order. This is a figment.
Mr.
He brought Christian Firth before the bar for the same reason, because he wouldn't answer questions that were put to him.